I'm here in Iceland on Skjólheimajökull to learn more about how climate change is impacting this glacier. I am very excited and happy to be here in Iceland, standing on this beautiful glacier with a wonderful human being and glaciologist. Will you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Steinnun and I am an Icelander, and yes, I'm a glaciologist. And I am lucky to be here with Kiana for this great interview. I'm excited about it.
Oh, the pleasure's mine. We're in good company.
Yes.
What is the name of this glacier? Can you share a little bit about the history of this glacier and where we are?
So we are now located on Skjólheimajökull, which is one of the outlet glaciers running down from an ice cap called Mýrdalsjökull. A lot of difficult Icelandic names here. But the ice cap Mýrdalsjökull is kind of the fourth largest ice cap in Iceland. And this beautiful outlet glacier runs all the way down here to the south coast. And it's probably one of the most accessible outlet glaciers in Iceland. So we have a lot of people coming here to do both ice climbing and ice walks. So that's pretty nice to have a place where you can actually experience glaciers like this.
This is my first time on a glacier,
Wow,
but I know that...
lucky you.
Lucky me! I know you've spent a lot of time conducting research on a lot of different glaciers. How many glaciers are there in Iceland, and do you have any sort of favorite research experiences that pop out?
So there are like many glaciers in Iceland, but we have, I think it's now what we talk about 7 ice caps or so. And these ice caps are being monitored yearly, so we have research trips twice a year. We have people going up in the springtime, putting up equipment, setting up snow sticks and all kinds of stuff, and then they come back in the autumn time and take down a lot of the equipment and basically see how much of the ice has melted, how much of the snow has melted in different locations. So it's a group of amazing people that are like willing to spend a lot of time in very cold and difficult conditions. But it's a lot of fun as well, definitely. My probably favorite trips are up on Vatnajökull, which is the largest ice cap in Iceland. We go like large trips in the springtime. A lot of people go up there with a lot of equipment. And it's not only, science work all day, we also have a lot of fun. And there's a lot of partying going on as well. So it's kind of nice for people to be able to kind of do the work during the day, but then rewind during the evenings. And actually on top of that glacier, there's a cabin. And right next to the cabin, there's actually a sauna.
That sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah, exactly.
Sauna on a glacier.
Exactly, why not?
As we've been walking up onto the glacier just now, we've been seeing how in the last 10 or so years, it's been receding and melting as a result of climate change, and also I think in part the natural geothermal system, which you just mentioned. Can you talk about kind of what those changes have been here with the glacier lagoon as the ice is melting, and also how local students have been involved in data collection and research, including Eva here behind the camera?
So yeah, it's pretty, of course, drastic, the changes that have been happening here over the last few decades. This used to be, and it's probably still one of the fastest retreating outlet glaciers in Iceland, unfortunately. And this is also one part of our glacial research. And here in this area, it's not like a group of volunteer scientists, but volunteer students, which is pretty amazing, from the neighboring town. And they come here and put down, I guess now they have GPS trackers where they can put a point where the end of the glacier snout is, and then we can see, okay, last year it was here and now it's all the way back here. And it can be up to 20-25 meters a year, which is quite a lot, as you can imagine.
That's huge. That's
and
a big
difference.
And of course,
exactly, and with the glacier retreating back, this glacial lagoon starts to form, because back in the day when the glacier was moving forward, it basically carved down a huge hole, which now when the glacier is retreating back, this hole is being filled up with meltwater, and the lagoon gets bigger and bigger, and this actually increases the melt or the retreat of the glacier, because it makes it easier for all these ice cubes to kind of calved down into the lagoon. So it's all kind of working, unfortunately, in this kind of loop system. So there's always something more like a feedback loop in a way.
How is the extra water from the glacial melt also affecting local systems?
Yeah, of course, if there are floods, that can happen. Maybe not particularly here, but of course there are other areas from the glaciers where the floods will go out, and we've kind of been talking about this over the last few days. So when you have, for example, a geothermal system or a volcano underneath a glacier, if something happens, if there's, something boiling underneath a glacier, it can trigger some kind of flooding. And then, of course, a lot of water will burst out and go into the rivers, and that will definitely can affect infrastructure like down to the road, like further south. This is kind of part of living in Iceland. We have the saying, "Þetta reddast." It's kind of like Hakuna Matata. We're just like, okay, we will figure it out later. We will always find a way to get through these difficult kind of situations in a way.
Is all the black kind of striations you're seeing, especially where it's melting more?
Exactly, down there.
Is that it's black from volcanic
Yeah,
soil?
it's a mix of gravel from the mountains that are kind of forcing the glacier into this valley, and then also ash coming from eruptions from back in the day, recent and old eruptions. So this is also something that is causing kind of the glaciers to melt and retreat faster as well. Because now we have a lot of like sandy areas in Iceland that are really easily erodible. So when we have harsh winds, the sand can be blown up into the air, and same with old ash layers, and then they can be deposited further on top of the glacier, causing like an increased melt of the glacier. And then a lot of the sand will also kind of flow into the hydrological system of the glacier and then come up here in the lower parts of it. And this is where you can kind of see these piles of sand coming up.
Wow.
And now where there's like completely black, when you have such a thick layer of sand, it actually works like an insulator. So we have ice underneath this that is not being melted because this sand is just insulating it. But then if you just have a thin layer like underneath us here, this is gonna increase the melt compared to having a clear ice almost like here.
Last question, which is, what do you love about working with glaciers, and kind of what made you fall in love with glaciers and want to have this be your life's work?
I mean, how can you not love this? No, I think for me, it's definitely, there's something fascinating about such a huge phenomena like ice, and how important it is for us as humans, like as a water source. And this is the case all over the world, and now we know that the glaciers are melting faster and it's going to affect so many communities. So in my opinion, it's like something we need to study. People often make fun of me like, isn't your profession literally like melting away? But this is what we, of course, we are here because we don't want that to happen. And by researching it and understanding it, we hopefully can then share the knowledge, and then people like general public can understand how important it is that we try to change our ways so we can keep these huge ice masses on land.
Absolutely, because it impacts all of us.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and love of glaciers. It's
course,
so wonderful being here with you, and I hope to visit that sauna on top of a glacier one day.
One day you will come back.
It's a plan.
Exactly. Let's do it.
Thank you.